This is an extremely comforting plate of Hokkien Mee. And it's so unassuming. What up everybody, we're back here today for another episode of Eatbook Food Guides, and with me we have a very special guest today.
Because due to popular demand, okay, everyone has been asking for a head review. I am showing you my head! Just to let you know, I'm not balding now, okay?
Looks a bit patchy, but okay.
Okay, so what are we eating today?
Today we are eating Hokkien Mee.
Okay.
I know we are both big Hokkien Mee fans.
Yes.
But I gotta ask you, are you a dry or wet Hokkien Mee type of guy?
Wow, I am a very wet person.
I don't want to film with you, bro. I really don't want to be here, man. I don't want to be here.
I like my noodles wet.
Okay, yeah. Because I better just be the noodles,
I appreciate a wet noodle. I like if it's a bit of a moist in it, right?
Okay.
Moisture in it. Yeah, I think it will have a very nice mouthfeel for me lah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I respect. I think for me, the most important part of Hokkien Mee is the broth, because I think that's where all the flavor really comes in.
Right.
So I'll be looking for a very hearty, a very strong and savory broth today.
And of course, Hokkien Mee, right? What about the noodle? For me, I actually like the 粗米粉more. I like the thickness is the same, but different consistency kind.
I actually like the normal bihun, because I like that it has a very different texture from the chewy yellow noodle. You know, and I feel like it almost soaks up the sauce a bit better also.
Yes!
But I'll be open to see if any Hokkien Mee today can change my mind.
So are you ready?
Shall we go?
Let's go, man!
Alright, let's go!
Okay, for our first stop, we are now here in Toa Payoh, right outside the Come Daily Hokkien Mee lah.
I've actually heard a lot about this place, but I've never tried it, because I always assume like they'll have a super long queue. It looks pretty legit eh. Wow.
You know, some Hokkien Mee, the alkaline taste of the yellow noodle is so strong.
It's too dominating,
It's really just I'm eating yellow noodle.
Yeah.
And some is like the gravy is not thick enough, not savory enough. Then you're like a bit meh.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, I think they managed to balance it very well.
Yes. There's a very nice strong pork flavor coming through.
Yes.
The broth. I had it with a piece of pork belly, and I think it's very, very well cooked also. The lard is so good. It's like bursting with that pork flavor which I was telling you about.
It doesn't have the very oil smell, you know?
Yes, it feels very freshly fried.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, is very refreshing. A lot of times people get a bit lazy with the pork lard. And you can see like they're very sizable chunks. So you get a nice bite when you're eating it with your noodles as well. When you do your broth well, when you have that meat flavor and that prawn flavor inside the broth, it kind of ties everything together.
It is like the glue, right? To glue all the noodles, all the sea friends and the land friends together.
Sounds like Little Mermaid out here or something, bro. Another interesting choice they made here is that they've actually gone with 粗米粉 rather than the thin bihun. The yellow noodle is a bit on the strong side for me. So the minute we smelt it, you could smell it already, right? And I think it comes through in the taste a bit. The chili, it almost has a bit of a sweetness to it. This is the wet type of Hokkien Mee, and the sauce is very thick. But I feel like if you have too much of it, it might become a bit gao, a bit like cloying. So when you have that sweetness to cut through it, right, it helps to break it up a bit more. Combine it with the acidity of the lime, I think it really helps to like freshen up the plate.
Right.
Yeah.
But my only gripe is I wish it could be
Slightly spicier. Yeah. I wouldn't mind a bit more of a kick could be good. I think.
Then it would really amp up the whole thing a little bit more.
Yeah.
So out of 5 pork lard, 3, 2, 1, 4. Wow, this Come Daily place, I think it set a benchmark for us today really. So the rest better, you know, you better buck up, man.
We are at Shiok Hokkien Mee. I believe it's actually a chain started by a very young hawker.
Oh.
So it should be interesting. And straight away you can tell that they're taking a bit of a different approach to it.
Yes.
They have a side of like fried egg on the side, which I've actually never seen in Hokkien Mee before.
Yeah. And now we finally have the bihun that is not the 粗米粉one.
Yes.
This is
I think
your favorite, right?
This is my favorite.
Okay,
I love a bit of bihun with my Hokkien Mee.
And then I'm seeing the pork belly.
Huge
like
piece.
The chunks. And
it's
then
a
the prawn.
huge piece of pork belly.
Wow, the prawns are
very fat.
fat, man.
Yeah, very big prawns as well.
Bro,
Are you a fan of the egg?
game changer.
Really?
Try.
Okay. You know how I said the first sambal was a bit on the sweeter side?
Yes.
This is more on the tangy side,
Oh yes,
right?
yes.
I almost feel like there's probably quite a bit of lime inside the chili itself.
The meat that they use,
Yep.
It's slightly on the thicker end.
And I think the prawns are cooked very well because you don't get that mushiness that you get with prawns when they're overcooked.
Yes.
This is still very like bouncy, still very fresh.
It is not your usual fried egg.
It's a very flakiness to it.
When you fry an egg long enough, it has this very thin, like more browning kind of a rough texture. It balances up the whole mouthfeel of the whole dish.
There's a much stronger burnt taste to it.
Yeah.
Right? A bit more like wok hei, I guess you would say.
Which I think makes sense because you will associate the charcoal wok hei taste with a dry
Drier
fried
version.
item, right?
I think when it's wetter, sometimes the gravy kind of covers that burnt flavor.
Yes,
Whereas
yes.
here it's very much at the forefront of your
Yes.
taste buds, I would say.
3, 2, 1.
3.5.
Oh!
As I said, I like the mix of bihun and yellow noodle. But to me, I find like the burnt flavor is a bit on the heavy end for me.
Right.
And actually, when it comes to Hokkien Mee, I think I prefer the sambal chili. But yeah, still a very, very strong plate of Hokkien Mee, I would say.
I'm just being thrown away by the
egg, the fried egg.
It's a
Game changer.
Legit, man. We are here at the Hougang Hainanese Village Center, and from there we have the Blue Star Hokkien Mee.
Okay.
And then from the first glance, right, you can tell they have a slightly smaller portion compared to the last two, right? But the first thing I noticed is the chili.
It's more of a pasty type.
More of the
is it?
pasty type, right?
I'm seeing a lot of chili seeds though, so I'm a bit nervous. I can't lie.
so actually I'm also a bit nervous because I can't eat spicy, right?
Bro, that second chili was crazy though.
Yes.
Yeah. One thing that's quite special about this Hokkien Mee is they actually put in a lot of Chinese chives.
Yes. For the first two places that we have been to, right?
I don't think I saw it at all.
Yeah.
Wow. When Bolin and I first saw this plate, right, we thought it looked a bit underwhelming, I would say. It looked very standard.
Yes.
But taste-wise, right, it really packs quite a punch.
Yeah.
You can really taste the umami of like the seafood broth in there. And I will go as far to say, texture-wise, this is my favorite of the three.
The noodles are actually a bit bouncy, and I don't know if you can taste it. It's like a very subtle sweetness underneath your tongue.
But it doesn't feel like artificial sweetness. It feels like it's coming from the seafood or something like that.
Freshness of the seafood, because that is one indicator where the seafood that they use, right, be it in the broth or the actual prawns, fresh.
Yeah. I would say the pork lard is also fried a lot less than the other two.
But it's smaller and it's not as satisfying. But I think I can make do with that. But the chili is a bit on the bitter side one.
Is it?
Is it I eat a lot of seed?
It's spicy, that's all I know.
For the chili, I think maybe not for me.
This is the most addictive Hokkien Mee I've had today. That is so good.
The trifecta.
That is
So the first trifecta is what? Savoriness. The second trifecta is the forget what I want to say.
Bro,
you keep doing this, I forget what I want to
like
say.
it with the trifecta. We have sweetness. You know like the avatar?
Yes!
Sweetness.
Sweetness. Savoriness.
Spiciness.
You have the savoriness, you have the sweetness, and then you have a little bit of the sour tanginess from the
lime.
Yeah. Okay, the boss did say to the producers that he's the OG one.
Bro, this guy not messing about Wait, he's actually 80.
He said he want to retire.
He cannot retire.
And I just want to say, I think, right, for them to really include a lot of the Chinese chives, right, seals the deal. Because it's really added dimensions.
Yeah.
Instead of your usual sweet,
It's a bit more
sour.
depth. Everything about this is really top drawer.
If I'm not on a diet, right, I would have finished this and order another plate. Are we ready to give Ari? 3, 2, 1. 5.
Easy 5-star. This is an extremely comforting plate of Hokkien Mee. And it's so unassuming.
Whoa.
Wow, we ended on a bang. That was really good. That was really good.
So what a day of
Wow.
Hokkien Mee.
That was some good food we had
That
today.
is some good
That was
food.
some good
And
food.
I think I'm quite grateful lah.
I'm so full as well, but yeah.
No, I say I'm quite grateful.
Why? Oh, I have to say, I think we were both pretty excited for today's episode.
Yes.
And the Hokkien Mee really lives up to the standards. All three do a very good job of showcasing like what Hokkien Mee really is about.
Yes.
But I have to say, if I had to pick a favorite, I think we'll both pick the same. Has to be Blue Star
Blue
Hokkien
Star.
Mee.
Oh my god.
Wow, it was so unassuming.
Yes.
But it was packed with so much flavor. The mouthfeel, the chili, everything came together super, super well.
So,
Very surprised.
Moral of the story is don't get scammed by how Hokkien Mee looks like.
Don't be like us, bro.
I will always have this misconception that, you know, it's gonna be meh most of the place. Most
Like you
places.
kind of know what you're coming in for already,
Yeah.
you know?
But oh my god,
All three
it really represents Singapore quite well.
Yeah.
I mean, all the three places, right? If any of you are from like other countries, right? You come to Singapore to tour, right? I think you know where to have good Hokkien Mees in Singapore.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of Ebook Food Guide. If you like this, please feel free to check out more over here.
And don't forget to
Like, share, and subscribe. Alright,
Bye bye.
see you guys around.
Bye. Hey, what your camera can flow one? Wow.